Okay, good morning children. Factors affecting enzyme activity. But what are the factors affecting the enzyme activity? First one is temperature, temperature, temperature. And second one pH. Third one concentration of substrate. Concentration of substrate. Fourth one, binding specific chemicals. Binding specific binding of specific chemicals. Binding of specific chemicals. So these are the four factors which can affect the enzyme activity. Factors: temperature completed yesterday, pH completed, and about concentration of substrate completed. Now last factor we are going to discuss about the binding specific chemicals. Sometimes some chemicals are binding. How they can affect the enzyme activity? Especially in last class we discussed Michaelis-Menten constant. The substrate concentration required to cause of the maximum reaction rate is termed as Michaelis-Menten constant. The substrate concentration required to cause of the maximum reaction rate is termed as Michaelis-Menten constant, which is symbol Km. Next one, the activity of enzyme is also sensitive to presence of specific chemicals that bind to the enzyme. What are the specific chemicals that are binding to the enzyme? So that chemicals also affect the enzyme activity. The activity of enzyme is also sensitive to presence of specific chemicals that are bind to the enzyme. For example, when the chemicals that may bind with the enzyme, when the binding of chemicals that can stop the enzyme activity. Suppose, what are the chemicals that are binding to the enzyme that can stop the enzyme activity? So that type of the process is called inhibition. That type of the process is called inhibition. That type of the process is called inhibition. So that type of the process is called inhibition. The chemicals are called inhibitors. The chemicals are called inhibitors. So what is inhibition? Suppose if the chemicals which may bind with the enzyme, they can stop the enzyme activity. So the process of stop to the enzyme activity, that is called inhibition. But what are the chemicals that are bind to the enzyme? So that chemicals are called inhibitors. Inhibition and inhibitors. Okay, inhibition and inhibitors. Inhibition means because of the binding of some chemicals, enzyme activity stops. So the process is called inhibition. The enzymes are called inhibitor. So here inhibitors are mainly two types: competitive inhibitor and non-competitive inhibitors. Inhibitors are mainly two types: competitive inhibitor and non-competitive inhibitor, and feedback inhibitor. Okay, inhibitors are mainly three types now. One is competitive inhibitor, non-competitive inhibitor, and feedback inhibition. Feedback inhibition. First, what is competitive inhibitor? When the inhibitor is closely resembles with the substrate in its molecular structure. When the inhibitor is closely resembles means similar. when the inhibitor is closely resembles the substrate in its molecular structure and inhibit the activity of the enzyme. So that type of the inhibitors are called competitive inhibitors. What is competitive inhibitors? The inhibitor is closely related. The structure of the inhibitor is resembles with the structure of the substrate. Okay, the inhibitor closely resembles with the structure of molecular structure of the substrate. The inhibitor closely resembles with the substrate in its molecular structure and inhibit the activity. So that type of the inhibitors are called competitive inhibitor. Why? Because structural similarity is there. Inhibitor having structural similarity with substrate. Because of these close structural similarity with the substrate, the inhibitor competed with the substrate for substrate binding site of the enzyme. Consequently, the substrate cannot bind with the enzyme. As a result, the enzyme action was decreased. So that is competitive inhibitor. The inhibitor. What is competitive inhibitor? The inhibitor is structural resembles with the substrate. So because of the structural similarity of the substrate, the inhibitor compete with the substrate at the substrate binding site. In this situation, the substrate cannot bind with the enzyme. So substrate cannot bind with the enzyme, no? So the enzyme activity decreases. So that type of the inhibitor is called competitive inhibitor. Best example you can see inhibition of succinic. Best example inhibition of succinic dehydrogenase. Succinic dehydrogenase. Inhibition of succinic dehydrogenase. Inhibition of succinic dehydrogenase by malonate. So this malonate is the inhibitor. Inhibition. This malonate inhibit the reaction. Succinic dehydrogenase reaction. This reaction is inhibited by the inhibitor malonate. Why? Because the malonate is closely resembles with the structure of succinate. Okay. Here the succinate is the substrate. Succinate is the substrate. Okay. So the inhibition of succinic dehydrogenase by the malonate. Malonate is closely resembles with the structure of the substrate succinate. So because of this structural similarity of the malate with the succinate, so they can stop the enzyme action. The enzyme reaction is here. Succinic dehydrogenase. The inhibition of the succinic dehydrogenase by malonate, which is inhibitor, which is structurally similarity with the substrate succinate. So here both the structural similarity. Malonate is the inhibitor, succinate is the substrate. So both are having similarity, structural similarity. So that's why this malonate inhibit the reaction, enzyme action, that is succinate dehydrogenase. Enzyme reaction of the succinate dehydrogenase that may decrease because of the competitive inhibitor named malonate. Okay, these are all the competitive inhibitors. Especially they are having structural similarity with the substrate. Because of this structural similarity with the substrate, the inhibitor compete with the substrate on the enzyme active site. So in this situation, the substrate cannot bind with the enzyme. So in this situation, the enzyme activity action declines. So that type of the inhibitor is called competitive inhibitor. Okay, next what is non-competitive inhibitor? In this non-competitive enzyme inhibitor, the inhibitor has no structural similarity with the substrate. and it can forms enzyme inhibitor complex. It can forms enzyme inhibitor complex. Enzyme inhibitor. It forms enzyme inhibitor complex. Where it can form enzyme inhibitor complex? It can form enzyme inhibitor complex at a point other than active site, not an active site. It can form enzyme inhibitor complex other than active site. So in this situation, what will happen? Okay, other than active site, so the globular structure of the enzyme will changes. As a result, catalysis cannot take place. Okay, so that is a non-competitive enzyme inhibitor. Especially metal ions are used as non-competitive enzyme inhibitors. All the metal ions, especially you can see copper, mercury, silver, etc. These are all the metal ions. These are used as non-competitive inhibitors. Okay, but what is non-competitive inhibitors? There is the inhibitor doesn't have any structural similarity with the substrate, but the inhibitor forms enzyme inhibitor complex other than active site. So in this situation, the globular structure of the enzyme changed. In this situation, the enzyme activity also decreases. So that type of the inhibitors are called non-competitive inhibitors. All the metal ions, best example copper, mercury, silver, these are used as non-competitive inhibitors, metal ions. Next, last one, what is feedback inhibition? Especially in this feedback inhibition, the end product of chain of enzyme catalyzed reactions. The end product of chain of enzyme catalyzed reactions inhibit the enzyme of the first reaction as a part of homeostatic metabolism. Homeostatic control of metabolism. Homeostatic means for the stable state means equilibrium. So what is the feedback inhibition? Especially feedback inhibition means the end product of chain of enzyme catalyzed reaction inhibit the first enzyme of the reaction as a part of homeostatic control of metabolism. So the end product, what is the end product here? The end product of chain of enzyme catalyzed reactions. The end product of chain of enzyme catalyzed reactions that can inhibit the enzyme of first reaction. End product here, end product inhibit the enzyme of first reaction. Why? The end product inhibit the enzyme of first reaction as a part of homeostatic control of metabolism. Homeostatic control of metabolism. Homeostatic control of metabolism means equilibrium, for equilibrium purpose, state of equilibrium. Okay, stable state of equilibrium. Okay, homeostatic control of metabolism. Homeostatic means stable state of equilibrium. So that is feedback inhibition. Okay, so far we completed. Fourth factor, binding specific chemicals. The binding of chemicals also that can affect the enzyme activity. The chemicals which are bind to the enzyme that are called inhibitors. That type of the process is called inhibition. These inhibitors are mainly three types. Inhibition is mainly three types: competitive inhibition, non-competitive inhibition, feedback inhibition. What is competitive inhibition? In this competitive inhibition, the inhibitor having structural similarity with the substrate. Because of this structural similarity with the substrate, the inhibitor combined with the substrate on active side of the enzyme. So in this situation, substrate cannot bind with the enzyme. The enzyme activity decreases. So that type of the inhibitors are called competitive inhibitors. Best example, inhibition of succinic dehydrogenase by malonate. The malonate having structural similarity with the substrate succinate. So because of the structural similarity of the inhibitor malonate with the substrate succinate, this reaction is stopped. What is the reaction? Succinic dehydrogenase. The reaction will decrease because of the structural similarity of the inhibitor malate with the substrate succinate. Okay, this is a competitive. So what is non-competitive inhibition? In this non-competitive inhibition, the inhibitor doesn't have any structural similarity, but it can form enzyme inhibitor complex other than active site. In this situation, the globular structure of the enzyme changed, that declines the enzyme activity. Actually, all metal ions, they are used as non-competitive inhibitors, especially copper, magnesium, copper, mercury and silver. Copper, mercury and silver, these are used as non-competitive inhibitors. All the metal ions, all the metal ions, all the metal ions, all the metal ions used as non-competitive inhibitors, especially copper, mercury, and silver. Copper, mercury and silver. Okay, these are the non-competitive inhibitors. Next number, what is feedback inhibition? The end product of chain of enzyme catalytic reactions. The end product of chain of enzyme catalytic reaction inhibit the enzyme of first reaction. So here end product that can inhibit the enzyme of first reaction. End product inhibit the enzyme of first reaction as a part of homeostatic control of metabolism. Okay. Next here, these are the four factors which can affect the enzyme activity. First one temperature, second one pH, third one concentration of the substrate, fourth one binding of specific chemicals. Okay. Here binding of the chemicals, here you can see inhibitors mainly three types: competitive inhibitors, non-competitive inhibitors, feedback inhibition. Okay. Next, classification and nomenclature of enzymes. 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 Classification and nomenclature. Classification and nomenclature of enzymes. Classification and nomenclature of enzymes. So what is the classification and nomenclature of enzymes? Here you can see most of the enzymes have been classified into different groups based on the type of reactions they catalyze. Based on the type of reactions they catalyze. Based on the type of reactions they catalyze. Based on the type of reactions. Based on the type of reactions. Based on the type of reactions they catalyze. Based on the type of reactions they catalyze. Based on this concept, enzymes are classified into nearly several types. So enzymes are mainly divided into 6 classes. Enzymes are mainly divided into 6 classes. Enzymes are mainly divided into 6 classes. Each class include with 4 to 13 subclasses. 4 to 13 subclasses. 4 to 13 subclasses. Total 6 classes done. Enzymes are divided into 6 classes. Each class is divided into 4 to 13 subclasses, and these enzymes are identified with 4-digit number and are identified with 4 and are identified with 4-digit number. 4-digit number and are identified with 4-digit number. Okay, and are identified with 4-digit numbers. Okay, so here what are the 6 classes enzymes? Enzymes are divided into 6 classes and each further divided into 4 to 13 subclasses. Each enzyme is identified with 4-digit number. So what are the 6 classes of the enzyme? First, oxidoreductase or dehydrogenase. First one, oxidoreductase or dehydrogenase. First one, oxidoreductase. First one, oxidoreductase. Oxidoreductase. This is also called dehydrogenase. This is also called dehydrogenase. Oxidoreductase or dehydrogenase. Next, transferase. Second one, transferase. Third one, hydrolase. Fourth one, lyase. Fifth one, isomerase. Ligase. Isomerase and ligase. Okay, lyase, isomerase and ligase. Okay, these are the 6 classes. Oxidoreductase or dehydrogenase, transferase, hydrolase, lyase, isomerase and ligase. Okay, so these are the 6 classes of the enzyme. These 6 classes are divided into 4 to 13 subclasses. Each enzyme is identified with 4-digit number. So here one of the first one you can see detailed information. Oxidoreductase. First one you can see now. What is oxidoreductase? Especially the enzyme which catalyze oxidoreduction between 2 substrates. The enzyme which catalyze oxidation reduction. The enzyme which catalyze oxidoreduction means oxidation reduction between 2 substrates. The enzyme which catalyze oxidoreduction. The enzyme which catalyze oxidoreduction between 2 substrates. The enzyme which catalyze oxidoreduction means oxidation reduction. Between the 2 substrates there should be oxidation process and reduction process is going on between the 2 substrates. That is called oxidoreductase. So here you can see one substrate reduced here. One substrate oxidized. One substrate oxidized. So because of you can see here you can see now one substrate reduced and one substrate oxidized. Okay, one substrate reduced and one substrate oxidized. Here you can see one substrate reduced and one substrate oxidized. Okay, oxidation process, reduction process is going on. One substrate reduced and another substrate oxidized. Okay, here you can see now. Here you can see here yes oxidized plus Yes, reduced. Okay, oxidation process, reduction process. Both are going on here. One substrate oxidized and one substrate reduced. Here one example here they given molate. Here one example here they given that molate. Example molate and NAD, nicotine amide adenosine dinucleotide. So here molate oxidation is going on molate. Okay, molate oxidation. Oxidation of molate, what will come? Oxaloacetate. 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 And NAD reduction, reduced. NAD reduced to NADH and H plus. NADH plus H plus. So here molate oxidized. Molate oxidized into molate oxidized. Molate oxidized. NAD reduced. These are the two substrates. One is the molate substrate, NAD nicotine amide adenosine dinucleotide. Molate is a substrate, NAD also substrate. So here molate oxidation is going on. Because of the oxidation of the molate, oxaloacetate is produced. Because of the oxidation of molate, oxaloacetate is produced. Because of the reduction of the NAD, NADH and hydrogen ions are produced. So this is the one example. So this reaction is carried out with the help of the enzyme. What is the enzyme? Oxidoreductase. Oxidoreductase. This reaction is carried out with the help of enzyme oxidoreductase. So this is the oxidoreduction process. Oxidoreductase enzyme. This enzyme carried out catalytic process, especially this enzyme carried out oxidation and reduction between two substrates. Here one substrate reduced, one substrate oxidized. With example. Okay, this is the oxidoreduction. This is carried out with the help of enzyme oxidoreductase, that is also called dehydrogenase. Okay, so here enzyme, you know that enzyme is identified with 4-digit number, no? So here, one example here they given glucose 6-phosphotransferase. One example here they given glucose 6-phosphotransferase. Glucose 6-phosphotransferase. Glucose 6-phosphotransferase. Here, glucose 6-phosphotransferase. Here the enzyme code, 4-digit code is 2712. 2712. This is the glucose 6-phosphotransferase. This is the 4-digit code of glucose 6-phosphotransferase. Here what is the 2 indicate? Here the first digit indicate major class, second digit indicate subclass, third digit indicate subclass, fourth digit indicate serial number of subclass. Okay, so this is the one of the example to the 4 digits of enzyme code. This is the enzyme code of glucose 6-phosphotransferase. Here the first digit 2 indicate major class. 2 indicate major class. Second digit indicate subclass. Second digit indicate subclass. Third digit indicate subclass. Third digit indicate subclass. Last digit indicate serial number. Serial number of subclass. So this is the one of the example to the 4-digit code of the enzyme So these are the this is about the classification and nomenclature of the enzyme matter. Okay, so tomorrow class we have to discuss about the cofactors. Thank you, children.